Good day. Welcome to another tax deductible video. So I can write off this Spyderco civilian. And, as part of a larger effort to start a business that will definitely, eventually have income, according to the Canada Revenue Agency. If anybody's here, that's exactly what this channel is for. So just chill out from all the deductions that you probably saw coming in. So this is the Spyderco Civilian. It's one of the more expensive Spyderco knives that's come out. It was meant initially for U.S. U.S. police services that were doing undercover work. They needed a knife that did not require any kind of self-defense training or any kind of training whatsoever, that they could just use and be successful with using to get out of a bad situation. Which I would say that this is pretty good. Whereas a regular knife, you may need to understand how the cuts work, as far as like the angles of attack and all that. Whereas if you just have like a hawkbill design like this, number one is a little bit safer, but second is like you really just have to grab onto anything, and then once it catches on something, you just need to cut down on. Apparently this kind of hawkbill design, karambit style design, was used a lot by like sailors back in the day, because it was safe. They could cut things, and they would have less chance of cutting themselves. So this has been around for a long time. It's kind of a skith design, and also, as you can see with the karambit, it looks very similar to kind of a karambit style as far as like the curve. You can see that the idea of the curve on both blades with how it should be used. So that's a Spyderco Civilian. The evolution of the Spyderco Civilian was the Spyderco Matriarch here. The Matriarch was from a request that happened in South Africa, where women were being attacked, and they wanted a knife that again they could use to fight off anybody, and they would have it's so simplistic in design, they would require no self-defense training. It was because it would be so intuitive. The closest competitor to Spyderco would be the Cold Steel Black Talon 2, right? And the Black Talon 2, I'll come out in another video to talk about it more, but I would say it's the bigger of the two. But also, as far as like the blade is concerned, it's about the same size. So it's not really that great of a comparison, but I'll show you on here on measurements. All right, so that's from tip to stock is about 4 inches there. Tip to stock about 4 inches there, so that's the same size, and then that's about 3.5. Okay, we'll just do the handles, about 5 inches, about 5.5. And just under 5. Okay, I'll show you the thickness of the blade. So as you can see, the actual tip is very thin. I'm not sure if that's doing it justice on the camera. You got some shit on there. By the way, the tip is very, very thin. It's apparent when you see the knife. It's the thinnest of the bunch. It has the thinnest tip of all of these knives. I think the only other thing that I have that's about as thin is the Spyderco U Jumbo. So in which case it has a fairly thin tip as well. Okay, and the reason I bring up the thinness of these things is if you actually want a slicing kind of knife, it has to have a thinner tip, right? So you're not going to want something that's like a what they call like a working knife or whatever to, people using their knives to chop wood and stuff like that. That's not what a pocket knife like this is for, right? So if you want to slice through something, it has to be fairly thin. Okay, that's just how it has to be designed. Like if you think about it, like if you look at every surgeon will use a scalpel. Scalpels are very, very thin, right? Because that makes them extremely efficient at cutting. So there's always a trade-off between like how thin can it be to how effective can it be with like being durable. In that case, I would say if you're looking for durability, I would say that the Matriarch is probably the best out of the three. Coming second would probably be the Talon, because its thickness again is a little bit more of a working class thickness. And if you want something just straight up for sliciness, these two would be the Yo Jumbo here and the Civilian. Note if you do buy the Civilian, there's a like a warning message that Spyderco brings with you that if you basically use the Civilian for anything other than like self-defense purposes and you break the tip, then they're not going to replace it with their warranty. So just keep that in mind. Okay, that's the review and on the Civilian. And if you have any questions, comments, please go ahead and leave it in the comment section, and you can subscribe. That would really help me with the, really help cover me with the Canada Revenue Agency claims I'm going to be making. And please feel free to give me any advice if I'm doing anything I mess up. Thanks a lot. Have a good rest of your day.